The brain has such a massive complexity. You know, even the brain of a fruit fly, this might come as a surprise to a lot of people. The brain of a fruit fly has 150,000 neurons in it. Thousands of different types of neurons. So that complexity of the brain of a fruit fly is daunting. You feel like you're walking in a forest without a map. And worse, not only do you have no map for your route, you don't even know where you're going. And it's really a true sense of adventure. In my lab, we're interested in brain development. How does the brain develop? What makes it what it is? And what aspects of the genome, of the DNA, are important for constructing a brain? The museum for Naturkunde that we're sitting here in is a great context for talking about one of the aspects of our work that really is a bit more recent and is very exciting for me, and that's diversity. So, you know, we look at this box here and what we see are an enormous diversity of shapes and sizes of different species of flies. And that's just a metaphor for the amazing diversity of life on Earth. And one of the things that, if you think about it, the diversity of species comes from the diversity of individuals, because for any given species to emerge, it requires that a few individuals in a population become different from the rest of the population, so different, in fact, as to start generating their own species. One manifestation of this question of diversity of individuals is the diversity in behavior. Well, where does diversity in behavior come from? Well, behavior is generated by the brain, and therefore the diversity in behavior must reflect in some way diversity in the brain. A very exciting aspect of the work that will be carried out here in Berlin is taking advantage of some of the innovations that the Hiesinger lab has come up with, the ability to image the formation of a brain as it's happening in real life. If we now can utilize this technology in order to look at how individual brains, how the brains of individual organisms, in our case fruit flies, are developing slightly differently from each other, then this is just absolutely amazing. We will, for the first time ever, be able to watch in action the brain forming itself slightly differently in slightly different individuals. It's just an amazing, it's almost like watching creation. It's something that stirs up a lot of passion. To me, it's poetic, actually. It's really poetic. There's no better way than to describe it. There are a number of excellent neuroscience research groups in Berlin, and it's really a lot of fun to think about the opportunity to interact and collaborate with those individuals and their groups, and to discuss both practically and intellectually, but also just over a beer, talk about what we think about the future of neuroscience, what we think about the principles of how the brain develops and how it works and so on. And just being surrounded by such fun and bright colleagues is one of the great advantages of being a scientist in Berlin.